Hello, welcome to the second part of this garden season. It's June, middle in the summer. It's a hot day. The tomato plants are growing strong. But also the first potatoes was ready to be harvested. I wanted to harvest the first potatoes, but I had to cut down first the plants of the potatoes. I must cut all the leaves down carefully. There was a lot to cut before I was able to reach the bottom of this box. Let me speed this a little bit up for you. I must cut everything down, step by step, as you can see. Then I was able to pull out the first potato from this garden season. It's looking good and big. There are more, of course, hidden in the ground, but I pull each of them out carefully. Let me show you. Here are more. I must pull all out. And here are some big ones, as you can see. They're looking all so good. I was so proud. So much work. But it was all worth it. There are so many hiding in the ground. I must pull out so many potatoes on this day. Look, there are more hiding. I was digging into the box and found more. Here, a big one. Another pair. So many of them. I'm very proud. Then I was finishing. Here are all the potatoes that I was harvesting on this day. Then I was planting some new one, as you can see here. Then I was refilling the box with dirt. And I put on it all the leaves. 9 days later, a rainy day in this hot summer. It's good that it's raining. My tomato plants are growing big and strong here on the right side. So the rain is good for my plants. Much later, it's now July. Here are the belly peppers. They're growing also. And here on the left are some potato plants. Here, some tomatoes. There are a lot of them growing, still small and green. Here are more. The summer is very hot. As you can see, there are not more many leaves on my tomato plants because the hot summer was stressful for my tomato plants and they was getting sick. So sadly I had to cut a lot down. But at least my tomatoes are still there, as you can see. Still July, a little later. As you can see, my plants, the tomato plants, are recovering. Here, They're growing more leaves out of my tomato plants. The next harvest of potatoes. I was cut down already all the leaves from it and was start pulling out the potatoes, as you can see. There were some small ones in this box, but that's fine. I was pull out some more, as you can see here. And here I was pulling out a bigger one. That's great. As you can see, I was pulling out the most potatoes. Here are more under the soil. A very good harvest from this season. There was a lot hiding in the soil. I was pulling all out. And here is the harvest. Looking all good. A heavy rainy day in August. It was raining very much on this day. But good for my plants. Six days later, the belly peppers are growing out, as you can see. There are many of them hanging on these plants. Here are some more. But also the tomatoes are getting red. Some of them was ready to be harvested, so I was cut down some of them carefully. Here, look, here are some. Here's the whole harvest. One month later, it's now September. It is time for the next harvest of potatoes that I planted in June. Again, I'm doing all the steps I was doing before. I cut all the leaves down and the whole plant. A lot big potatoes I was harvesting, as you can see here. The biggest harvest from this season. A few weeks later, it is time for the next harvest of tomatoes. Carefully, I cut each of them away from the plants. But also a few belly peppers were ready to harvest. Here's a red one. There were plenty ready to be harvested, as I show you here. There is another one. Looks good, doesn't it? But there were still many peppers growing, as you can see here. Look how many belly peppers I harvested. They look delicious. Here are some of the tomatoes I harvested. Time passed quickly and it was already October. Many of the belly peppers grew very large this year. Many of them are still hanging on the plants, as you can see here. I harvested the last tomatoes for this year. I also harvested a few belly peppers. Look what I have harvested. But now we come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching and I wish you all a nice Thanksgiving.